everybody, welcome back to my channel for those who've been hanging with me some time, and welcome to those who are new to my channel. I'm Adea Levine, intuitive and medium. Okay guys, so I'm definitely going to get to the topic at hand, which I know for so long people have asked about Ouija boards and spirit boards. So hold on to your hats. I'm going to get to it. But I wanted to make a special announcement that my spiritual protection and lift kit is here. My collaboration with Chikimu, which is really just someone I know really well and have known for so long time. A huge heart, the greatest spirit of a person that I could ever do this with. We have launched it. So I'm going to show you what we have. Okay, so I took it apart, which we'll have a picture here somewhere, right? Citric and here. And of what it looks like when it's all dolled up and the way you are actually going to receive it, which will be more, you know, a tight little bow. But it will come in this little basket. As you can see, it's a bamboo basket. I took it apart. It had all this pretty decoration around it, and I pulled it apart. So I'm going to take it one by one. So first of all, you're going to get from me a little note that I wrote that has a little note from me, but also has instructions and everything on how to use this, and a little note from me. Yes, everyone will receive that. So to start, have this awesome roll-on oil. I'm really excited about the roll-on oil. This is a Adea Levine, because a lot of times when you get oil, it's in those, you know, bottles that you have to do this, and they sometimes like spill out, which is fine. And they're great because I have a million of them, but I love the idea of like just rolling it on. Just feels like perfume. But this has frankincense, and it has rose oil, and it has smoky quartz rocks in them, stones I should say, and a little bit of lavender oil and coconut oil. And it just smells very soothing. And this oil, I put it here, as you saw, I put it here on my wrist. And by the way, I put it on the back of my neck, because this is a protection and lifter. So I wanted it to be an oil that not only protected spiritually, but lifted energy. And I feel like the smells and the properties kind of do both. So I like to use oil before I'm reading and things like this. You can use it to start your day. You can carry it with you. You can keep it at home, whichever. And then this is the incense, resin incense. And you're going to see this is how it comes. And I have talked to you guys a lot about Gloria, but what she has done is created a Adea Levine blend, which has the properties of Gloria, which is like frankincense and myrrh and dragon's blood, but with extra kick, because I wanted something that not only is going to cleanse your space, but is going to lift and cleanse you and your energy. And when I used this, it felt like every time I dropped little bits onto the coal, that it felt like I got different properties each time. That's what I loved about it. It just felt really good. And you will of course get the coal, and you will also get this little incense burner, and it lifts off. So you can do it just like this, or you can put it on top. This is very hot, guys. We have instructions on it once it has the coal in it. And little matches, the Adea Levine matches for you. So you have everything you need. And of course, this is a bamboo basket, and she did it so pretty with a little lavender on it. It's just so pretty. Okay, so you get all this, and if you pre-order, you get $5 off, so it will come to $32 for all of that together. It's all organic, and it's fairly sourced, so everything is coming from a really good place, and the person who makes it, who I love so much, has great energy, and that's what I care about, because if someone's making something, the energy goes into it. So I just wanted to show you real quick, like this is how you're burning your coal. Can you see? I'm being very careful because this is very hot. You probably can't see, the coal is in there. I lit the end of it and then it will burn all the way across. And then you take the incense and you don't smother it with it because these little resin pieces will burn quite a bit of smoke. So I'm literally putting, boom, like 1 or 2, maybe sometimes 3, and you'll see it will smoke up. And you can just put it on your table, your altar. And I believe that we're also going to be sending a little wood piece for you to put this on top, a tiny one. And you just smoke it up around you. You can just leave it and let it smoke up. So you can go to adaylavine.com and click on protection kit, and it will take you right over to Chikimoo if you want to pre-order and get yours. Now with the code ADAYLA, it will take $5 off. This will be going on the pre-order special to 11/14. Correct. Yes. Okay. Let's get to the subject at hand. So we are smoking it up. I did put the lid on it just so you can see. You can have the lid, but it is hot. So if you put the lid on, leave it. You know, I'm all about safety, protection. I mean, it is a protection and cleansing. I don't need you guys hurting yourself in this, but if you just leave it, it's totally fine. And don't forget to put it out with a little bit of water. Those coals last. But I put it all in this awesome little note to you, a little note to you from me, just period, thanking you and explaining a little bit about what this is all about. So sorry it's a little bent, but you know, I had at it. All right, Adayla, get to it. I know, but I told you this was coming, so I was so excited. So I wanted to show you all. Ouija boards and spirit boards. For those of you who are jumping to this, I get it, or who signed on for this. Yeah, okay, here's the deal. Are they a bad thing to use? Is it something you shouldn't use? I'm not going to tell you that it's a bad thing to use. I am not even going to show you a Ouija board or spirit board because I don't own one. However, we will put a picture up around my face or somewhere here, and you can take a look at what they are. And what they usually are their boards that have been, this has been going on. This is an ancient practice. It's been going on for so long. I want to say ancient, but it's been going on for quite some time. Maybe ancient is a stretch, but it has been around for quite some time. Mediums have used them. I don't use them. I don't use them because I can hear that realm and I just don't feel the need to use them. Spirit boards and Ouija boards, what's the difference? There is no difference. There's just some people call them that. And some people kind of who are really into spirit boards and making them very grand out of this unique wood, and they can get really, really detailed and beautiful for sure. People collect them. People collect the old ones to the new ones. There's a lot of crafting that goes into it. And I do believe that when it comes to Ouija boards and spirit boards, that is part of the main thing that I would say that is unique about it. It's more about where you're getting them. Heading on over to the toy store or on Amazon and buying them from Fisher Price. I don't even know if they still make them. Do they? May not have the same vibe to me. It's definitely not a game, and it's definitely not something you just want to get from whoever. So if you're going to use them, you do need to protect and cleanse. You know, use a little of the cleansing, cleanse the board. Make sure you're doing it very purposefully and very carefully. Meaning, what I'm not saying, it doesn't open up the gates to all hell, to all demons and all this. No, you don't need to be worried about that. What it really is just opening up a door for a lot of silly things to happen. And there is the combination of the idea is, are they really working or is it me? So those of you who are not familiar, I drew up a little example. Yes, no, they'll have like because I have a reason. I'm going to show you why. I have a reason why I drew this up. I have the letters, I have the numbers, and it will say goodbye. And there's a little, you know, what's the proper word? Because this is how much I don't use them. But it moves around and you push it around. It almost looks exactly like a guitar pick. And please put up the correct word. Forgive me. But it is a whole thing. Like, people who are really into these and collecting these are pretty serious about it. However, what happens is that two people, you know, put their fingers on one end and the other, and you're not supposed to put your weight on it. And as you ask the spirits questions, it's supposed to spell things out. Now, here's the problem with it. I've done it one time, and I can tell you, I can't say honestly for sure, oh yes, for sure, it worked. I know the spirits were talking to me through the board. It was many, many moons ago. Because honestly, I was really in that state. And that's kind of the important part. You might be in this real state of like, oh my gosh, I want something to happen. I really want something to happen. I want it to be kind of amazing and this magical thing happen. So sometimes I do believe we could have more of a psychological push on it. Do I believe things can happen? I do believe it, because I know spirits can be a little trickster and a little silly, and they like to mess with people, and they can move things and all that. But I don't think it's as common as people think at all. And if you are getting an answer like, hey, who are you, and all this type of stuff, you're more going to get little bad boys and girls that are kind of the equivalent to tricking a kid with a puppet. Pretty much. So in other words, like, let's make people freak out, and we'll spell out a name, and we'll say yes, no, and beware, and get out, and all these things to mess with you. So the thing about spirit boards, if you're not using them in a proper way, if you're not locking them down, so people are really serious about it, will put protection on them, they'll lock them down. People who are witches and work with that kind of magic know how to bind them and make sure that they're being used in a very, very proper way, and they're not just opening up to whoever. So basically, they're just mirrors and reflections. They're a tool, you know? And that brings me to this. You could literally draw something like this. If you wanted to put the letters and the numbers, you could, but you could just do a yes or no. And if you're into pendulums, you could hold it over and see if your hand gets guided. Or what came to me, because I do feel like this is kind of a cool way, you could get a penny and you could lay this on here, and you could feel like if something's guiding you in one direction or the other. It's kind of the same as automatic writing. It's kind of the same as using cards, you know, people who throw runes and things like this. These are tools. They're tools to communicate to the other realm. There's nothing special about the Ouija board. The Ouija board in itself isn't created some special key. There's not some skeleton key that's going to open up the gates to you and the spirit world. There really isn't. It is really about you and you as a person. If you are being open and willing and ready to communicate to that realm, and can you do that and feel ready for it, which is actually the most important thing, then you don't need those things. But if you like them and you're interested, then do it properly. Don't just flip out the board and think you're in the craft and turn the lights on and start to, you know, get all excited. And, you know, you and your friends are just like, you know, hanging out and being silly about it. If you're going to do something for real, then you should learn about how to protect it, how to cleanse it, how to keep it under wraps, how to open it up to your family or people close to you, and who you can confirm things. Because the most important thing is, if you're using a Ouija board and you're like, who is here? And someone's like, I'm here, I'm Tom, and I'm going to tell you to, you know, get out or whatever. Or I'm going to tell you this happened to me, this is how I died. You have no way of confirming what the hell Tom is saying. You have no way of confirming it, because you don't know Tom. You don't know if he really died this way. You don't really know anything about him. But if you're opening it up to someone you know personally, and you know, or someone you're with in this group that you're doing this with knows, then that's a different story. Then you can get some confirmation. So if you ask a question and it seems like it's something you relate to, something you're like, hey, yeah, I can confirm that happened, or you can ask a parent or a friend or someone who knew the person, Confirmation is key. So my problem with Ouija boards is that people use them to just say, oh, we talked to the old man who used to live here, but you don't know anything's being told to you is correct. And so you just believe it because you think this thing moved around. Okay, FYI, the spirit world can have fun with you and be little bad boys and girls and trick you and make you think all kinds of crazy things happen and nothing's really happening. Many times they kind of think that's funny. So that's why I'm not, well, the reason why I personally don't use them is because I don't need it, because I can hear that world and talk to that world. I don't need a Ouija board. But also I do feel like it's just kind of used in a very kind of haphazard. There's a lot of emphasis put on the actual board and not enough on you and you opening yourself up, or the person you're with opening yourself up and doing the work. So it's just kind of like, oh, it's the board is taken over and the spirits are connected to the board. That is very movie-esque. It's very exciting. It's very sexy. It's a good sell. It makes great TV. It makes great drama, but not so much the case. So if you're going to go this route, be responsible. Make sure you know where you're getting it. Even make sure if you're buying it from someone who knows how to make them and has put certain energies on them. Anytime you're getting anything spiritual, it's the energy of the person. And that's what I believe. The energy that's going into that thing that you're using, that tool that you're using is important, especially something like this. So I'm serious, like it really isn't a big deal to take a piece of paper and write yes, no. And if you want to do the letters, that's fine. I don't feel like it's necessary. You could get a lot just from yes or no, but if you want, that's fine. And the numbers, and you can take a penny and you could just see, or a pendulum if that's what you're into and you want to use that. Sometimes those get a little tricky because you feel like you're kind of shaking it. But I'm saying I think it would be cool to kind of go old school and use a little copper and kind of use that property just to see what happens. Just so it's clear to you that it isn't the board. All right, so if you're gonna plan on doing this for Halloween and you're into it, that's why I thought this would be a good time. Thank you guys so much. I hope this helped. I hope you have a good Halloween. I hope you have a wonderful Day of the Dead if this is something you're celebrating. These are all interesting. Be safe though, be careful. I am still offering my 50% off of all my readings with the code PEACE. And I have posted on my Instagram and my website my latest class, which is how to trust your intuition. And you guys wanted this event on how to raise our vibration group. We're going to do a little circle. It's going to be limited seating. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be a journey and also a way for us all to connect. So anyway, thank you guys for always kind of voting and participating. I love being involved with you. Stay safe, listen to yourself, follow no one, listen to your inner voice, and I'll see you guys soon.